Alright, crash course time. What is a Nuzlocke? A Nuzlocke is a challenge run of any Pokemon game designed to make the game harder by limiting your options and killing off the Pokemon that you've worked so hard to obtain. A Nuzlocke can be compared to like ice cream or something. There's a bunch of different things that you can do with a Nuzlocke to make it harder or taste different, but there are two main rules that need to be followed to get the Nuzlocke experience. We can only catch the first Pokemon we see in each route, and if a Pokemon faints, they are literally dead. To further explain rules 1 and 2, let's say your first encounter in Route 3 is with a Pikachu. If you knock that Pikachu out or fail to capture it in any way, that means Route 3 can no longer have a Pokemon captured within it. You have to go to another route to capture another Pokemon. You cannot waste the chance you get against the first Pokemon you encounter. Since Sword and Shield, you can either encounter a Pokemon via seeing it and just running into it, or by a grass RNG. You should only be able to capture the closest Pokemon to you in the overworld that you initially see, or you just go by grass RNG, which I feel is the best way of doing it. And to further illustrate the point of Pokemon dying, yeah, they perish. Don't let your Pokemon faint. It's the worst thing you can do in a Nuzlocke run. You can't revive them, and you gotta release them at the first available PC. Or you can box them in a box room thing that effectively acts as a graveyard. Those right there are the only two necessary rules to making a Nuzlocke. Everything else is optional. But here are some popular optional options for you to add to your run if you want a little bit more challenge on top of everything else. No items or limited items. Naming all your Pokemon to further that bond. Deciding when you want your game over condition to be. Whether that be your first party wipe or when all the Pokemon in your entire arsenal, in your box, in your party, whatever, are all gone, with no hopes of catching new Pokemon. Rolling a dice for things like your starter or choosing a fossil. And something like the no duplicates clause. Meaning if you already have like a Zubat and you run into a Golbat or another Zubat or whatever as your first encounter in a new route, you cannot capture that Pokemon again. Pretty much making that encounter like a redo. Other than that, we have some more overall bigger changes to how Nuzlockes perform, such as doing like a wedlock where 2 Pokemon die instead of 1, or a Soul Link Nuzlocke where you have to get a friend involved and you both play a Nuzlocke, and if one Pokemon dies, one of their Pokemon dies. And then if you modify the game, you get things like randomizers, or if you're a streamer or have like a lot of friends or something, you can do like an egg lock. There's a lot of these stupid runs because they're all pretty fun. For a lot of people, it's fun to play through a Pokemon game with that risk of losing the starter that you've trained up for so long to a random wild battle, if you're not strategic and precautionary about things. And in an era where everyone says Pokemon games are easy, this is definitely a way to add the challenging spin that you may be craving for your own Pokemon experience. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about here. If you want to learn more about Nuzlockes, I'll provide a couple links in the description for you to go from, but this should be pretty much everything you need to get started. I already used a couple of these scenes for my Sword Nuzlocke that's already out on YouTube right now. I just wanted to put it together into a nice little 2-3 minute video just to explain what Nuzlockes are, because I know a lot of people had questions about that. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Try not to die.